Welcome to the Film Threat Freeze Cast. How many times will I freeze today on camera? Who knows? You keep count. Whoever guesses correctly is going to win a valuable reward. Alan is joining me on the show. In just a moment, we'll talk Mortal Kombat 2, The Sheep Detective. We have an interview today with a filmmaker about, we're talking UFOs, a documentary called Sleeping Dog. We'll talk to Michael Lazovsky. And I have a lot of news, and I really need Alan here to make light of me and make fun of my freeze faces. Let's see what he's got for us.
Alan.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Good. Big long weekend this weekend.
All right. I got it's Mother's Day weekend.
Oh crap, I forgot about
that. I did not forget. And Trader Joe's has great deals on whatever flowers they randomly put together. So those come in handy.
Yeah. I'm glad you reminded me, because we're burying my dad this weekend. And so that's all I've been focused on.
Well, Father's Day is in June, so
I know.
You're good there.
Yeah.
You're good there. So sorry about that, my friend.
Yeah. All right.
I
Chief
feel
Detective.
Like you and I have both been around each other when the worst things have happened in our lives.
I know.
You and I have like been together when they happened, and either got a text or a phone call. So
yeah, it's funny. It's like the worst happens to you, and then the worst happens to the people around me.
Right, but you get away scot-free.
I know. I somehow I managed.
No, wait, but I, when I'm around you, my camera freezes. It only happens when I'm live with you.
Yeah. No, I think it's with the Asians. You were on with X-Ray Girl, and it was happening.
Oh, okay. So I blame Asians.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
What yeah. Is your camera Asian?
It must be.
I know.
They're all built.
I think the Chinese children who made your computer is getting back at you.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for the condolences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see who's in the chat. Happy Film Threat Friday. LFG says Darth Yeager, who's a member. Thank you. We normally have Lord Thoth welcome the show. We miss him today.
Oh.
He's allowed. He's allowed, but I have something to share. The Film Threat shop. Look at this, folks. We have new designs. What is this? I should probably refresh.
Oh, that's Mortal Kombat.
Yes, we have for the month of May the force be with you. The Film Threat, the Indies strike back, but we have video game designs. That's right. The Film Threat logo as Mortal Kombat, as Street Fighter, and believe it or not, Mario. You can get a Mario shirt. Check that out. I like it. And this is our intern. What's his name again? I keep forgetting this intern's name.
Oh, Tim.
Tim modeling our Super Film Threat shirt in red. Thank you, Tim. Thank you to all our amazing interns here. We have, I think this is Jeff. Jeff has our Street Fighter inspired Film Threat shirt. Pick one up, support the channel. We appreciate you. And lots of other stuff on the shop.filmthreat channel store.
Yeah.
So appreciate
it. By the way,
it.
I should just mention SNL.
Sure.
SNL UK has the greatest Mario sketch I've seen in a very long time. It's the Mario you wanted and not Chris Pratt.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw that out. It's on YouTube. SNL UK. Look up Mario and have fun.
That's great. Well, thank you, Lord Thoth. Appreciate you.
Yes.
A lot. So like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Lots of members only videos, including the upcoming windshield replacement video that Alan will do for members only.
Yeah.
He will talk about his favorite scenes in movies where cars smashed into a fruit cart on a street.
Yeah.
And that's a long list.
Yep.
That's a long list.
But we're super close, and I will call my insurance company on Monday and get it all worked out.
Well, it depends today. It depends on, we don't know if we're going to break that number. But we have a lot of news and reviews to get to. So let's start with news today. Where are all my news stories? Let's go. I found them. I found the news stories. Some of you have noticed that I've been a bit vocal more than usual in my replies. I become the reply guy to some of California's most notable politicians, and recently ratioed the esteemed mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, or as Spencer Pratt calls her, Karen Basura, which means in Spanish, Alan?
The Bass.
No, it means trash.
Oh, okay.
It means trash. But he has launched a campaign. There was recent mayor debates this week, and a story broke. One of his videos just went viral where Spencer Pratt plays Batman in the video. Alan, the story is in the Hollywood Reporter. Give me the gist of it. And then I'll show the video.
Okay, let me see, because I don't remember seeing this on the in the notes.
I'm just gonna play the video for you.
Yeah, why don't you play the video?
I shared it. It's from a guy named Charles Curran, who I follow on X. And let me just play the entire video for you, and then we'll see what the reporter has to say about it. It's a little over a minute. Let's watch.
Please, I'm begging you. There's homeless drug addicts in front of the schools. My children aren't safe.
Look, if you were a transgender migrant, I could get you a free pussy.
Let's move the drug addicts closer.
Bass already solved crime. I endorse her.
Next!
It's Joe Rogan as Commissioner Gordon. It's great.
Please, I just want to rebuild my home. It's been over a year.
Mom, look.
This is a machine. If we want to burn this town to the ground,
This is a great ad. It's in the Reporter, which is, I'm happy that they're acknowledging this, because if people at the Hollywood Reporter cared about the industry that is the film industry and production in LA, they would endorse Spencer Pratt, who is the only person who is going to do something about homelessness and crime and bringing and every day I read about a new restaurant that has gone out of business. Every day I hear from friends, I haven't worked in a year. Alan, what's in this piece in the Reporter? I'm obviously passionate.
Yes. All right. I'll skip to the point. The ad is being praised by conservatives as one of the best political ads ever made. Former Florida Governor Jeb Bush called the ad maybe the best political ad of the year. Ted Cruz posted an eyes emoji about the video. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz wrote, "This is basically a maximalist expression of what a political ad can do." One influencer wrote, "Best political ad I've ever seen. It's not even close. This ad is brutal, hilarious, and 100% on point." Then they go on to talk about Charlie Curran. But then it says the video is also raising questions about the ethics of using AI to realistically depict political foes without permission in campaign ads.
All right. Well,
even if the ads are not directly commissioned by the candidate. Author Robert Lufkin noted the LA mayor's race is drawing global attention for its bold AI-powered, highly creative campaign ad. They're on another level. Is this the glimpse of the future of political campaigns?
here's what I'll say. You could have made this, it'd be an expensive ad. You could have made this not using AI. What's important about this ad is not that, set that aspect aside. It's the content of this. This is what people in LA are feeling. The reason this ad is so successful is because it does what almost no movies are doing today, which is tapping into the zeitgeist. What is the zeitgeist? What everyone in LA and California, for that matter, is feeling about the state of our politics here. We have elected officials that don't care at all. Don't care about their constituents making decisions. And most of these, Gavin Newsom today announced some new program. That's code for I'm going to raise taxes and allocate money for some friend of mine to benefit and become a millionaire administering that program with no results required. And that's what every homeless program does, is it feeds the drug addicts and keeps them here. It's mind-boggling that Spencer Pratt is not trouncing Karen Bass in the polls, who's still polling. He is number 3 behind Nithya Raman, a council member that's a puppet, as we saw in the ad, of the Democratic Socialists. She's just a puppet, which I mean, for those listening, not watching, Spencer Pratt as a version of Batman was fighting, guards dressed with DSA, the Democrat Socialist Party. I love this. And what is it going to take to not only save LA, save the film industry in California and the current people? Look, Spencer Pratt is not MAGA. He's not Republican. The mayor position is not a political position. It's not R or D. He is of common sense. He has not come out. Obviously, some of his views, because they are common sense, lean conservative, but there's simply things like, enforcing the laws we already have. He's not talking about doing anything radical. So I hope things change. I'll pay attention to this, and I may at some point have to take my thoughts on this topic to some other channel or a completely different show. So, Alan, do you have thoughts on this? And
yeah, I'm going back to the point of raising questions about the ethics of using AI to realistically depict political foes without permission in campaign ads. There was a couple months ago, someone put out an ad of, I think it was Gavin Newsom saying, basically laying out the truth, and we all knew it was AI. And so Newsom and his cohorts decided we're going to pass laws that will limit the use of AI. And I'll tell you this, the reason they do that is because conservatives got to AI first before they did. Because I can 100% tell you that if the Liberal Party had taken a hold of AI like the conservatives had, there'd be no problem with AI being used in political ads. But because they did it first, the conservatives, and they did it better, now we have to pass laws to curb that. And it's hypocrisy at the highest degree. Don't hurt me or we'll come after you, and they're coming after him. Did I just let loose that I'm a conservative?
Yeah, I think you might have.
Oh, dang.
So There are no, I'm looking at all the captions in Film Threat Friday Livecast. They're not there. I'm going to the bottom. I don't see them. So they are not there. Okay. Let's go to our next news. Oh, wait. Holy shit. We got to get to some of these comments here. Just a minute.
Oh, by the way, they are there. I'm looking at them right now.
I don't see them.
Okay. I am staring at them right now. Here's a Mortal Kombat review.
Nope, I don't see them. Where are you?
I'm in Film Threat Friday Livecast.
Yeah, I have to reload.
Okay. All right. Let's go to your chats here. Let's see. Andrew Cram gifted 1 Film Threat membership. Thank you for that. Andrew Cram also $25 for Allen Windshield Wiper Fund. I mean, we are. I think we're gonna hit the mark today. Jean Hu gifted 5 Film Threat memberships. Do you see them now? Well, okay, we definitely hit the mark. So
yeah,
thank you, Andrew Cram, 100 for the windshield repair fund.
And Sean Hu, thank you for that. That's amazing. Alan, you're set. You're doing the video.
Calling the insurance company. Lost Horizon, is this Daredevil bored again? Season 3. Sammy the Smooth looks like a documentary. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Alan's windshield repair fund.
Well, keep them coming in.
Yeah. Shattered Dimensions. In fact, I'll go Trump and make it gold. Yeah. Shattered Dimensions for $9.99. Thank God it's Fridays, gent. Excited for today's interview. Got my copy of Attack of the Doc yesterday. Can't wait to watch this weekend. Here's my contribution to Alan's rear view mirror fund 60. But that's not going to happen.
That a thing.
The rear view mirror fund is not going to happen. Sam Spurgeon still prefer Lex Luthor's 1979 plan for California. Make Otisburg a real thing.
Otisburg?
Sorry, Mr. Luthor. Lee Kindler, my niece is an LA native, so am I. Seeing what local government has done to her hometown sickens me.
Yeah, it's sickening.
Yeah.
I might have to do a series of shows on a different channel because I may upset people, or I might start a new show just for this. A temporary show.
Yeah, D-Day Gore.
Yeah, D-Day Gore.
Christopher Moonlight Productions. Another positive use of AI in the hands of the individual. The establishment hates it so much that they want you to hate it, so you can't use it against them. Love this. So, I mean, it surprises me they don't use it.
Thanks, Chris.
That there's no one in their circle that knows how to do this stuff, which I find very easy to believe.
Yeah. All right, lots more news stories because we also have a lot of we have very few reviews today, oddly.
Yeah, and that's not our fault.
That's just it's the way it happens sometimes. But we will get to those reviews, folks. We will get to them. Hey, the Golden Globes has laid out new rules regarding AI. Speaking of AI, let me put up the story here. It is from is this Deadline? Golden Globes lays out AI rules for submissions, noting usage does not automatically disqualify. So that Spencer Pratt ad could actually qualify for for the Golden Globes. It's they've already announced that Nikki Glaser is the host. That would be her 3rd time hosting. Mm-hmm. And it's in January 10th, 2027. Alan, you have notes for this story. Let's hear it.
Yes. The Golden Globe Awards announce new AI eligibility rules for the upcoming ceremony in January, making clear that using artificial intelligence in film or television will not automatically disqualify entries. The organization said AI tools are acceptable as long as human creative direction, artistic judgment, and authorship remain primary throughout the production process. Under the new rules, submissions must disclose any generative AI used in production, including AI-altered voices or likenesses of performers. The Globes emphasized that AI cannot replace the core creative contributions of writers, directors, composers, animators, or other artists. Instead, AI is only allowed in supporting or enhancing roles. For acting categories, performers remain eligible if their work is used primarily derived from the work of the credited performer. The rule also states that AI can assist a performance only when it stays fundamentally human-driven and under the performer's creative control. Unauthorized digital recreation of actors' voices, likeness, or biometric data are explicitly banned. The policy arrives as Hollywood continues grappling with AI concerns that become central issues during the 2023 Writers Guild and SAG-AFTRA strikes.
Well, what do you think? What's going to happen is this: the Oscars, the Academy Awards, is going to have to address AI.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fairly certain, since we've seen the layoffs happen at Marvel, that they're going to be using AI in their effects department. Where does that put them? Does any effects house that uses AI, are they not going to be eligible for an Oscar for best special effects? There will have to be some rules about this. So
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
Well,
this is
yeah.
going to influence the Oscars for sure. To have some kind of rules.
Yeah, I think. It's interesting that the Golden Globes is out there in front of it now and forcing the Oscar to play its hand. From my understanding, or from what I'm reading from this, typing in a prompt saying "give me the score for my movie," and then have AI do it, that would disqualify at least that category for the movie. You mentioned AI effects. If you're just typing in a prompt and then getting your effects back, that will disqualify you from that. I think we've talked a lot about, AI can be helpful in small ways, in ways to do things faster. But, as long as the person in mind has a vision, knows what it wants what he or she wants in the final output, they're going to allow it. My question, I guess, ultimately becomes, we've mentioned this on Versus before, but what if you're a foreign speaker and you use AI to basically translate your words into English, or manipulates your mouth and your face into the English dialogue? Where does that play? And those are the gray lines that we're gonna have to cross. I think this question really speaks to the human performance, the actors, more than it does score and special effects and all that stuff. How much can you alter a person's performance to the point where that is no longer a human performance and it's an AI generated performance? Like, can Val Kilmer get an Oscar nomination for his upcoming role in a movie he's not in?
Yeah, we saw that trailer. I did not love it.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he's a substantial part of the movie. So
Yeah.
It's with his family's blessing. It's with his blessing, because he was involved in the movie before he passed. So
which is fine. It just means clearly he cannot get an Oscar nomination for that role.
Should not.
Or cannot.
Well, we shall see.
Yeah.
Joseph Kahn is a friend of the show, and we brought him on because he's very outspoken. And in a post about Star Wars, he really lays things out and says something in a roundabout long way that I've said for a while now. And people attempted to cancel me over this.
Yeah. You lost friends over it.
I lost friends who I see in the wild, which I find kind of sad.
Yeah.
And obviously they're not good friends. If you can see this, Alan, why don't you read what Joseph Kahn had to say?
Yes. I have Star Wars toys all over my home office. My two daughters want nothing to do with Star Wars. My teenager watches Gossip Girl over and over, and my 7-year-old plays with Barbies under my original 1977 Star Wars poster. My wife calls Star Wars the movie with the boy with the blonde hair. I tried to watch Star Wars with her, And when seeing Harrison Ford, she went into a discussion about how people loved to tan in the 1970s. When Kathleen Kennedy took over Lucasfilm, she clearly had an agenda to feminize that world. One of the things she locked in was the Force and all its mysticism. But the Star Wars boys don't buy the Force toys. They buy soldiers, robots, aliens, stars, gadgets. They love the science in science fiction. Sure, they like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber and try to decapitate each other with them, but they really grok Han Solo's blaster and Boba Fett's rocket backpack. It's the thing Star Wars with their lesbian space witches doesn't get. Males love the wars and Star Wars. By making it vegan friendly, you end up making a product for nobody. Yeah, guys, use the Force, but only to throw rocks at motherfuckers. No one gives a fuck about space yoga unless it's a Force multiplier. The Force may be female, but fixing the compressor on the Millennium Falcon is male.
Of course, we have that classic photo of the Force is female with some of the women who ruined the franchise. We got Rey here meditating. I replied simply by saying, Disney turning Star Wars from a boy brand into a girl brand will prove to be the costliest decision in movie history. Some people are saying,
hold on, that got 74,000 impressions. A reply to a post got 74,000 impressions
and 5,300 likes. I think that's, I ratioed, Joseph. Sorry, man. I've been saying this for a long. Look, Joseph, I didn't mean to ratio you. I was trying to take what you were saying and put it in a small bumper sticker like phrase, very short and digestible. You made it personal, talking about your daughters and your wife, and they clearly don't care about Star Wars. They care probably more about The Devil Wears Prada 2, which the popcorn buckets are sadly sold out. Alan, what are your thoughts about this?
What are my thoughts? Simply this: you wouldn't like it if men walked into women's spaces. That if men walked in and said, "Hey, we're going to take Barbie and we're going to give it a whole new vision." No, men, stay out of women's spaces. To that, the inverse is true. Women should not be invading men's spaces. And Star Wars is definitely men's space, and you've ruined it. I'm sorry. You tried to feminize it. You tried to basically do what the Brady girls did to the Brady Boys treehouse and feminized it. And the result is the final result nobody wanted. And the people you're going after, the women wanting to grow the female base of Star Wars, never happened. Not to say that women aren't in the Star Wars fandom, but you did not bring in new ones that weren't already there.
Sometimes it's kind of like I said this like years ago and was criticized for it, but I feel I've been proven right when other people stumble on something I've talked about. I like that Joseph made it personal.
Yeah.
You know,
go back to Versus on Monday when we read the article about Gen Z and what they want in why they don't go to movies. And what they did was they said exactly what we've been saying for the last 3-4 years. Yeah. You know, the art of storytelling hasn't changed in millennia. It still works. You know, male, pale, and stale, I hate to say it, still works. And, you know, people want good storytelling. And the arrogance of you to think that you know how to elevate storytelling to a whole new level, of which I say is you don't, and you've ruined Hollywood.
Avengers director Joe Russo on spoiler, he says, spoiler culture can be over policed. And I would say this, if you would bring up the notes for this story from an outlet I have not heard of. It's metro.co.uk. I think you have too many pop-up ads, Metro UK. But
yeah, you're like old Film Threat website.
Yeah, we got rid of our ads. We weren't making a lot of money on them anyways. and I hated it. So we don't have these kind of pop-up ads. I'm sure we could make extra money every month, but I think a better user experience on the Film Threat website is in order. But what does Joe Russo have to say? Of course, one of the co-directors of the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. What does he say about this?
All right, Joe Russo and his sister Angela opened up about the enormous pressure of protecting spoilers for Avengers Doomsday. Secrecy is one of the biggest responsibilities attached to modern Marvel filmmaking. Despite intense fan scrutiny, Marvel and Agbo, the production company of the Russos, successfully kept several major surprises hidden, including the shock return of Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom. Angela said Marvel projects require careful planning around audience expectations and emotional reveals. We spend a lot of time thinking about the audience, she explained, adding that the goal is to both honor the integrity of that IP and surprise and delight fans. She emphasized that Agbo believes strongly in protecting the sanctity of the experience for everyone to enjoy it in the same way. Joe Russo admitted spoiler culture has increasingly complicated this social media era. On one hand, audiences want to be surprised, and that's part of what makes the theatrical experience exciting. On the other hand, it can be sometimes a little over-policed. He explained that Marvel's films are carefully structured around emotional reveals. We design these films to unfold in a certain way. We want audiences to feel those moments as intended. Still, Joe acknowledged the leaks are almost impossible to completely avoid. You can't control everything. You have to focus on making something that holds up beyond the initial surprise. The Russos stressed that the real goal in creating stories powerful enough to resonate even after fans know the twists. Marvel has a long history of spoiler disasters, including Mark Ruffalo's accidentally revealing the ending of Avengers Infinity War. Samuel L. Jackson leaked the Avengers script. According to Jackson, Marvel launched an intense investigation after that script leak. They found out who it was. Dude quit, left the country. It was crazy. Angela revealed Agbo now follows similar strict security protocols for Doomsday and Secret Wars. There's some serious lockdown at our company, she said, joking that even some employees avoid learning spoilers altogether. They're like, no, thank you. I'd rather stay in the dark.
I'd rather stay in the dark. But I predict everything is going to come out even before the movie is. I mean, so many things have come out. Although someone we know who read the script, my guess is that script is old and new things have been shot. I mean, they are doing reshoots now. So clearly that script is out of date and it'll change up until, the film has to be locked. So, but I also think, look, the way to avoid spoilers is don't read articles that have spoilers. Or when someone says on a show, hey, we're going to get into spoilers or light spoilers, or just don't listen. You choose what media you consume. And there have been times where, you know what? I want to go into a movie fresh. I try to avoid even seeing the trailer. But this is under your control. So, and I think for the most part, people, when we review films, anything that was in the trailer and or the first act of the movie is pretty much, we're going to tell you about, because that sets up the story. And then we are vague when it comes to the last half, or I think used to be that the rule about spoilers was don't ruin the ending. Now everyone has a different definition of what they call a spoiler. So, it's a sliding scale. It's a level of your sensitivity. So if you are one of those what is it, a spoiler pussy, then maybe just avoid things where a spoiler may leak. That's all I have to say.
Spoiler, it's fun. When Avengers Infinity War came out, 2 weeks before Avengers Infinity War came out, I was at Walmart, and there was the Funko Infinity War toys. And so I took the Captain America toy, I took a picture of it, and then I used Photoshop and instead of his round eyes, I replaced it with X's. And then I said, "Did Funko just spoil Infinity War?" and I tell you, I lost 10 friends on Facebook because
Really?
yeah, it was a joke. I didn't know the ending. And so I'm freaked out because I'm watching Infinity War going, "Oh, Captain America, don't die. Don't die. Please don't die." Because my friends will absolutely hate me for it. But the other point I want to make is I saw this movie I saw a certain movie a month after it came out. It was called Sixth Sense. And a month after it, I still didn't even know the ending. And I was surprised. I remember there was a time when spoilers were kept long after the movie opened. For some reason, people were so amazed by the ending of Sixth Sense that it was an unspoken rule: do not spoil this ending. Do not spoil this ending. And I'm glad. I miss those days.
Yes, I was surprised by it. I didn't see it when it first came out.
Yeah,
but I saw it and I didn't know that. Yeah, The Sixth Sense. It's one of the best twist endings of a movie.
It made M. Night's career.
It was great. Yeah, it did. And now every movie I feel he tries to repeat that, and you can't do it. That was a one-time thing.
And his twist endings will get spoiled before the movie comes out.
Yeah. And now it's become his signature thing that he does.
It's become an old hat. But Sixth Sense, I mean, I vividly remember seeing that ending, and it's like, oh my God. And then thinking, how did I not hear about this before seeing the movie? We didn't have social media at the time.
In keeping with talking about the Avengers and Marvel news, Robert Downey Jr. versus influencers. This is weird. Check this out from Variety. Robert Downey Jr. says it's absolute poop to declare that social media influencers are the stars of the future. Kind of a long clip here from this podcast. I'm gonna share it with you, Alan. He talks here about this issue. Let's hear what he has to say.
Ever doing much besides rolling a phone on themselves, and I don't look at that as a negative thing. I just look at it as more like the challenge for individuation is being upped, because hopefully the grosser part of our of the youth of, let's just call it America for locality's sake, is going to say, yeah, but that's not my thing. I want to go do something. I'm going to make something. I'm going to build something.
I have no idea what you said.
I want to educate myself, and I want to have more inputs. So whatever my output is.
He is talking at a level that no one normal is around him.
It's like,
he has so much money now. It's like some of the people that I really feel he was very grounded when he went through recovery. His career was reinvigorated by taking on the role of Tony Stark, Iron Man. And now he's at such a money level. He's surrounded himself by people he's probably paying stupid money to. He's probably got a chakra consultant. Yeah. He's not connected to the real world. Let's see.
Or he's hanging out with Kamala Harris.
I'm trying to find where he talks about this. But
look how skinny his arms are. I mean,
isn't he vegan now, which means he has no muscle. All right, let's go.
He looks like me.
Isn't just a self-aggrandizing kind of influencer type thing. When I hear people talk about, the stars of the future are going to be influencers, I go, I don't know what world you're living into, but I think that is absolute horseshit.
Yeah, I wanted you to talk about influencers because I don't get it to a certain level. Now, I understand an influencer when they have something to say and they're interesting and they have a point of view and all of that, but many don't. And they're, again, it's back to the old famous because they're famous. But it interests me.
I think influencers are segmented, right? Mm-hmm. There are, exercise influencers, beauty influencers, fashion influencers. There's film influencers. I'm sure they exist,
Mm-hmm.
But people take every little segment of a thing that people are into, and there is an influencer or someone prominent in that space. So you're just not looking hard enough. And there's a lot of things I don't care about. Obviously, beauty is one of them. Tech and camera technology. And if cameras freeze, I'm not interested in that. If there's an influencer there that could help fix my camera, love to talk to that person. But let's hear more what this conversation. It's just, I feel RDJ is getting a little out of touch.
I feel dumber listening to him.
Yeah. Well, all right.
That many of them have 1 million followers, etc. Well, that's a lot of people. Now, what does it mean to be a follower? And, it's not like you're paying $100 a month to be a follower. And so it's not hard to be a follower. And so I think the interesting question is, when is an influencer about novelty? What is it that gets them on the radar screen of 1 million people? And then the question is, what contribution are they going to make to the lives of those 1 million people going forward? And they're very different questions. And the ability to do those things are quite different.
Sure. Well, when you're the first of a...
I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
But I assume he is the person that when Robert Downey Jr. farts, he wafts the noxious gases up to his face where he can smell his own farts.
Yeah.
But let's see what RDJ
Well, hold on, but I do want to believe
go ahead.
I do want to believe that his X handle is Killa Crew.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what this
version of this is ours, like my kids know that we didn't have influencers per se. We had Ronald Reagan, who was in politics and on TV and doing whatever General Electric or Westinghouse commercials, and was an actor of some note. But then you have like the first I was listening to someone who had started a podcast when it was still on MySpace, like back in the turn. And there's something about this 2006, 7, 8, 9. There's something about that era that, because we were just in it, and you know how it always feels like 2009 was 10 years ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's 5, or whatever it was. It's like, no. It's actually, we're getting a little longer in the tooth. That was a while ago. This whole phenomenon.
At least he has some awareness. He might be a little out of touch.
Mm-hmm.
He might be a little out of touch. I this is fascinating because you don't see him do a lot of. He was on Joe Rogan, actually. I thought that was a good.
Oh, recently?
No, this is a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
But it was a good interview.
That the advent of that. Sometimes it's who is luck, maybe, first in the door to do it. Joe Rogan was doing it before it was cool, and he's kind of got his whole own space now. But again, like my now 13-year-old son, Exton, he kind of got caught up in this whole influence.
What's his name? Exton?
Yeah.
Exton. Is it ECKSTON?
I have no idea.
X? Okay. All right.
Sort of thing. And next thing you know, it's like, hey, if you like the way I'm playing this video game, do you want to send me a donation? And really, it becomes a religion.
Yep.
So there's something about...
I'm going to donate to Robert Downey Jr.'s salary by buying a ticket to Avengers Doomsday. That's my donation.
The influencers today are almost like the evangelical hucksters of the information age. At the same token,
this is a good time to mention, if you want to support the channel, you can send us a super chat and you're guaranteed we're going to read it and respond to it. Just that whatever he's saying now reminds me to remind you that
it's different because we're playing.
Also, like, share, and subscribe.
In this new territory, and so it's a little bit of a frontier, and I don't really have a judgment on it. I also know when I'm promoting a film now, I've gotten to know a few of these influencers, and I find them, many of them, grounded, interesting,
thoughtful,
accomplished, cool people.
See, now he's backtracking a little bit because he realizes, like, I'm going to see these guys when I'm on the press tour for Avengers Doomsday, where influencers are actually going to help promote the movie. I can't shit on them so much. That's why I saw the story in Variety. I thought we have to see the real quote. So anyways, only a few more seconds.
and then you have, you know, all the associated jive.
No, there you go. All right. Alan, what are your thoughts on
What are
this?
my thoughts? Let me pull it up here. First of all, I was at a screening. Anne Hathaway was there. She speaks the same way.
Yes, we do. When you see interviews with celebrities, or we see these
Yeah.
Q&As, you know, the ones that like are like in the flower this, and they're doing
Yeah. They want to
candles.
come across as highly intellectual,
Right,
and
yeah,
think
yeah.
at a different level than the rest of us peons in the
Yeah.
world. But to the whole influencer point, you know, influencers have always been around. It's just they were named differently. Back in the 50s, 60s, they were gossip columnists. You know, they had the in on what was happening in Hollywood. Today you have go-to people on certain topics. Like if you want to talk about science now, you go to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's the go-to guy. You know, these people have existed. I think the issue is for people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and for others who are prominent in the world. I think they're fearful that YouTubers and TikTokers are taking their market share, and they've got to be taken down. That's why some of these people get swallowed. You know, they find some dirt on them, and they say, okay, hey, back out of the space. And then also, you know, I think what he's also pointing out is that it is like a drug, being an influencer, having people watch you and listen to what you have to say. Fortunately, we're not at those levels yet, so our heads are fairly there on our shoulders. But you know, there is that. Look, 1 million people watch me. I get 10,000 views on my videos. And once you start seeing those numbers slip, that's when you go into panic mode. And that's when you start thinking, oh, I've got to do something, you know, to juice those numbers up. And and my whole point is this idea of an influencer. It's existed since entertainment and since press. It's just people want to feel like that they're the authority on a certain subject, and I get it. It's fun. It's you know, it feels great, but you've also got to take some perspective on it.
I mean, one of our earliest influence, Benjamin Franklin, was an American influencer.
Mm-hmm.
He was influenced the world about America. It's been a position,
and about
kites and science. He's an interesting cat, that Ben Franklin, one of the early influencers in American history. Hey, one more quick news story, and then we're gonna go to your chat comments about the news, and then we'll get to our reviews. Okay. And I think I'm gonna save a couple of these things until Monday, unless we have time. But Alan provided a little D-Files update. If you follow my pal Al on X, Alan is very opinionated and will dip in. And sometimes I have no idea what he's talking about. He's very. You share your thoughts. Sometimes I'm like, is he for this or against it? Here's a very interesting thing you comment. Variety says Bob Iger, Disney 2025 compensation, $45.8 million.
That's how much he made last year.
It's up 11.5%. Median Disney employee compensation, $56,000, $56,932. Iger pay ratio to median employee is 805 to 1.
Yeah. Let's also point out the Disney employee compensation, the 56,000, half of those live in California.
I don't know how you live in California. I mean, you got to live in a household where a lot of people are making money. That's, you know, I know how I live. I go to movies and don't do much, but that's living below your means is an art form, which I have perfected. But Alan quote tweeted this Variety, and you should read your own tweet.
Yeah. Only in America can you make 45.8 million in a year, tank your company creatively, and incur massive layoffs. Question: is Disney better off today than it was when he took over?
Well, Alan, you should answer your own question.
Should I answer? No, and I'll tell you why. When he took over, when Bob Iger took over Disney, Disney was in trouble. Disney was going in the wrong direction. Michael Eisner was basically at a point where he was protecting his stock prices than he was growing the Walt Disney Company. He had fired Roy Disney Jr. off of the board. That led to a massive war between the Disney family and the Disney Company. And Bob Iger came in. He was on the board at the time, and he basically brokered peace between the two, and as a result, became the new overseer of Disney. And if you remember, I would say for the first 4 years, it looked like Bob Iger was making great decisions. He brought in John Lasseter, he bought Pixar, he bought the Muppets, he bought Marvel. Back when that happened, it looked like great ideas. He bought Star Wars, all feeling like they were all great ideas. And then he took everything he had done and just thoroughly trashed it to where nothing. Look, what's happened to Star Wars since Disney bought it? What happened to Marvel since Disney bought it? What happened to the Muppets when Disney bought it? What happened to John Lasseter when he got hired? What happened to everything John Lasseter was? Basically John Lasseter was the creative messiah of Disney, and they got rid of him. And look at where they are now. I would venture to say that I would much rather have Disney not buy these things and then have Bob Iger ruin it than to have just continued on with how Michael Eisner at that time was destroying the company. That's my opinion.
Well, let's go.
But to the point of the tweet that I said, the guy earned $45 million and people lost their jobs. Mm-hmm. Massive layoffs at Disney, and yet he earns $45 million. What does that tell you about what it's like to be a CEO of a major company?
Well, there you are. I just wanted to talk about Disney with Alan. Hey, let's go to your comments and questions, and I'll be able to get some more coffee. And we have a lot of them. So, Alan, why don't you start at the top here and go down? Atomic Lord, if you could help. I got to get coffee, folks, but I can hear what Alan's talking
Everything
about.
we're saying here. All right. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Alan's future rear window repair. It's not going to happen.
Yeah,
no, it's not.
Happen.
It's not going to happen. Bruce Leroy Jenkins for 2. Frank Gore's baseball bat fund. Great. Wouldn't it be easier just to rent a car and then you can go at that? Lord Kahn for 2. AI, in my opinion, needs to be regulated. Hi, Chris Gore. I live in a world today where the word regulation is never a good thing, and it rarely works out to the way you want it to. I would almost rather something go uncontrolled than to have the government step in and try to fix it. That's my thought. Lord Kahn for 2. If the force is female, I'm the star of Film Threat. Yes, Lord Kahn. Jason Nelson for 2. Chris, why such a brief appearance on Open Bar? Oh yeah, Chris will come back. Let's save that one. I want to hear it. The Serious Man, married for 26 months. The twist ending in Sixth Sense was the first scene. Oh, the Donnie Wahlberg part? Okay. Not another name for 5. Chris's camera repair fund. We have discovered it is not the camera that is broken or that's causing the problem. Royston Bailey for 5. Here's an offer to the God of Film Threat for your humble servant. Yes, feed the God. Everybody. Feed the God. Uncle Jimmy Jam. See, Uncle Jimmy Jam is feeding the God for 10. Super chat. Feed the God. The 1A train for 20 because Chris reminded us to send super chats. Yes. Keep them rolling in. Royston Bailey for 2. Actors should only act. Insufferable. Oh my gosh. I mean, I never posted the Anne Hathaway thing. I think I should. It was for a movie she did 3 years ago. I can't remember the name of it. Brooklyn something. No, it wasn't Brooklyn something. Not another name for two. Robert Downey Jr. Repair Fund. Yeah, the guy needs to eat. I mean, it looks like the muscles in his arms and legs have gone away. Critique Corner, remember for 41 months. To quote Homer Simpson, fame is like a drug, but that's even more like the drugs are the drugs. Okay, I don't do impressions. There you go. Is that it? Okay, here we go. Uncle Jimmy Jam. I'm just waiting for someone to register the name Skynet for an AI company. Then we're all effed. Let's see. Seed. From Seed. Is it time for the Butlerian Jihad?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. The Butlerian Jihad.
Okay,
I
hit the bathroom. I had to. What did I miss?
There's one. Let me read this one, and there's a super chat for you. MK Solid. Disney nuked the boy brand. Yeah, that was the point of Marvel. I remember they specifically talked about it in the news when it happened. The logic was Disney is for girls at the moment. Their princess brand is on point. We need something for boys, and that was why they bought Marvel.
Yeah,
and then they turned it into something for girls. Yeah. But Jason Nelson for 2. Chris, why such a brief appearance on Open Bar?
Well, I had to go see a movie. I had to see 2 movies. So I told Drinker I had to see Mortal Kombat 2 and Sheep Detective. I had to leave. So next time I'll be on for longer. But thank you. I hope people had nice things to say about me. Whenever I go in Open Bar, the chat, I don't know.
I know. I experienced
it can
that.
It can be fickle.
Because you're American.
That's right. They don't like Americans. So, hey, did we get to these?
No. Rockefeller Plaza. The Force is female in bikini being saved.
I have a Princess Leia, a slave Leia action figure, as every man should.
I used to have a big fig of Minnie Mouse as slave Leia.
That's a good one. That will never happen again.
Never. Jimmy Francis, they know you're right, Chris. That's why they fight you. Exactly.
Yeah, it's so weird how I don't go after people necessarily. I'll troll our politicians because we pay them. We give them our money and entrust them with our money. How they spend our money. That's your job as an elected official. But I don't go after someone for you like a movie, you dislike a movie. It's subjective. You could like something I really dislike. That's okay. I want to hear why you like it or dislike something that I may have an opposite opinion. That's an interesting conversation to have. I've always loved that. But I don't get why people push back.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If they say something stupid, I think it's okay to comment on what they said. I don't necessarily. I try not to get personal, like saying you're a moron or an idiot.
I've never seen you do that. I mean,
right. But I will say what you said was stupid and idiotic, and that you you don't know what you're talking about. TV.
Splycats.
Okay, for 5. Hey, Chris, I saw They Will Kill You with my date, and it was a refreshing movie that was needed. Yes.
Well, obviously your date has good taste. You have good taste. I'm sure you had fun. I think some of the gore in it was really over the top.
Yeah, but it was comedic.
Is comedic.
I like the side-scrolling nature of it. I also we mentioned it, but you can make a good girl boss movie.
That's one. I think we both like that film.
Mm-hmm.
Good time.
I know people commented on us. People did comment on us calling it a girl boss movie and saying you guys are idiots. But it's a good girl boss movie.
Here's the problem with that movie. Isn't the movie? It's that people are so exhausted of the girl boss trope that they won't see a movie like that even when it's good.
because it's done so badly. Yeah. Oh yeah. You got another $2 for your baseball bat fund.
Well, let me tell you a story about that. I keep a baseball bat in my car specifically for situations that may arise. I don't play baseball. You should know that it's illegal in LA to have a baseball bat in your car because it's considered a weapon unless you have other equipment in your car like a baseball and a glove, which I do. So we used to, back in the old days of Film Threat, used to say we would pull out the aluminum baseball bat of truth because the sound of a aluminum baseball bat hitting the ground is so terrifying. It makes such a terrifying sound that people are like, I don't want to mess with you. And I've only ever used it once in that situation where I pulled it out, dropped it. Someone heard the sound and then got afraid. And then guess what happened? Nothing. But I have a baseball bat.
Well, that's interesting. So you not only carry the bat, but the way you use it is you drop it.
You drop it because the sound of an aluminum baseball bat hitting cement is like, oh, fuck. Something could happen. I used it once in that situation. In a situation, I may tell the story someday, but not today.
I'm going to say that technique was used a lot in Mortal Kombat 2, and it doesn't always work.
We're behind. We gotta review movies.
I know.
Here, did we get to these?
Sam Spurgeon, they make trailers that show the whole movie but blame spoilers. Yeah, we had the filmmaker of a movie that did exactly that, and it was like, man, the trailer ruined your movie. Pepper, Peter, Piper, pickled. I think the studios leak more than insiders ever do. They get out ahead of it and use it to drum up publicity. Sure.
Yes, makes sense. Hey, let's review some movies, Alan. You and I both saw a film called The Sheep Detectives. This movie stars Hugh Jackman. He is a sheep herder who nightly reads murder mysteries, and stories to his flock of sheep. He's beloved. George Hardy, that's who Hugh Jackman plays. He's also invented a medicine for sheep that leaves like a blue residue. And unbeknownst, this is all in the trailer. He is found murdered. And when the will is read, unbeknownst, he is worth a lot of money.
30 million, I believe.
Yes. And his money is given to his estranged daughter. The sheep, of course, we see them talking. They love the stories. Humans, and well, we hear the sheep talk and other animals talk, but humans can't understand what they say, but we can understand. It's, like Babe, the movie Babe.
So or most Disney movies.
Or a lot of Disney movies. The animals understand each other. They can talk. The humans don't understand. And we meet a cast of characters. Emma Thompson plays the lawyer that reveals the will. Nicholas Galitzine, who plays He-Man in the upcoming Masters of the Universe, plays a local reporter who's in town. Molly Gordon plays Rebecca Hampstead, his daughter. And this cast of characters, among other characters, including two guys who have a competing flock of sheep. Who is the suspect? Well, guess who's going to track it down? The sheep. The sheep are going to track down the killer, and off goes the mystery. It's all, of course, we have CG animals, talking animals. This is effectively a cartoon. It's a live action cartoon. It's for kids, but I would argue this is one of those that falls in the categories that adults will enjoy this too, especially if you like things like Murder, She Wrote or classic murder mysteries, if you like those kinds of things, this is in that vein. Hugh Jackman, who of course we see him also in flashbacks after he's died. We see him throughout the story, and the sheep are really endearing. You've got voice actors like
Julia
Bryan Cranston, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Bella Ramsey. I guess I didn't know who she's plays one of the sheep.
Yeah, Chris O'Dowd, Regina Hall, Patrick Stewart.
The real standout is the bumbling police chief who played by Nicholas
Braun.
Nicholas Braun. He is really the star. He's such a moron. He's kind of led by the sheep who are trying to the sheep know more than the cop investigating the case. And that adds to a lot of the humor. I gotta say, I really enjoy in the beginning, I'm like, this is kind of cute, whatever. By the end, it really, really was heartwarming in a way that, like, you don't see movies like this earnest that really get me. I had a really good time, enjoyed it. It was surprising. In the middle, I was kind of like, okay, this feels like we've seen murder mysteries before. Never like this with sheep. Okay. Trying to solve the mystery of their paternal sheep herder played by Hugh Jackman. I give it a recommend. Really enjoyed it. Surprising. What do you think, Alan?
Yeah. I agree with you. This is, I wouldn't say this is the greatest kids movie ever made, but I'll say this: it's definitely a kids movie, and it is probably one of the better kids movies out there. I don't know that I would say this is for adults, but it's for kids. And I'll tell you the one thing that makes me appreciate this movie a lot, and considering that this movie is for kids, the way they handle death, especially of someone beloved as their shepherd, was to me brilliant. You know, I would almost show if a kid I know has someone pass away, I would almost show them this movie as to the way they handle it. And one specific area is the sheep have this ability to forget things, meaning if they see something bad, all they have to do is stand in a group and say, okay, we're going to forget this happened. And 3, 2, 1, and they forget. It never happened. That's kind of one of the things in this movie. And so when George dies, they almost do that. You know, they say, hey, this is bad. Let's just forget it. And then the Bryan Cranston sheep comes in and says, no, you've got to honor his memory. You cannot forget him. And I'm like, wow, that's pretty powerful. And so, I would definitely recommend this movie. I would definitely say it's a kid's movie. I don't know that I would watch it a whole bunch of times, but it has it's a movie that wanted to say something to children in a very good way, and it pulls it off. And that's why I recommend this.
Yeah, I recommend. It struck me too, also watching the film and seeing the ending of the movie, which obviously you're not going to spoil, but it's one of our colleagues, like Jeremy John, said he cried at the end, which I thought, like, I mean, I got a little choked up, like, wow, this is much more profound, especially like you said about death, that the sheep have a different view of what death is, and this ability to forget things, to kind of like just block anything bad out of their memory. And all of those things are great. And the other thing is that struck me is, we used to talk a lot about, well, this movie is woke. We haven't said that in a while. This is just a really solid, good movie with good lessons for kids. And especially in contrast with the other talking animal movie currently in theaters, which is Animal Farm. So in contrast to that, I really can't say enough good about this. Like, and I think young kids can watch it. I think older kids, maybe, north of double digits, 10, 11, will really get a lot out of it. It doesn't.
I think even younger kids. I think even younger.
What I mean is the movie doesn't talk down to kids. It's not like fart jokes like in Animal Farm. I mean, there's goofy humor, goofy aspects. There's a conflict about sort of a sheep born in winter. That's a whole level of someone being an outsider.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. That is such a
Outcast.
good side story.
That's another great. There's like everything pays off by the end in the most beautiful way, and this movie is not going to get. It's kind of like I don't get it. Sheep Detective. What? Like, go see it. Trust us. Take your kids to see it, or kids in your life. You won't be like most. Like with Animal Farm, honestly, I was bored. I was just, this is so, I got just like, what it does, it appeals to like the base nature in kids, or the lowest common denominator. And this really makes you, pay attention, and has some really good lessons. So a strong recommend for Sheep Detective, a welcome surprise. What about you, Alan?
Yeah, definitely recommend. I have a fairly high standard when it comes to kids movies, and this meets it.
Let's go to your comments. Maybe some people here have seen it. Oh, let me go to Soups here.
Yeah, Jim Watari for 10. Have you seen Widow's Bay on Apple TV? It's a comedy horror starring Matthew Rhys and Stephen Root. I'm really enjoying it. You have me at Stephen Root.
Yeah, I love Stephen Root. I have not seen it. I subscribe. I will subscribe to Apple TV when there's something I want to watch. I subscribe for a month and then I unsubscribe. So next time I resubscribe to watch something, I will check that out.
Yeah, I canceled my subscription to Apple TV, and 6 months later I realized no, the cancellation never went through. So
I've
been paying for it. And, Lord Common for 2. I don't think sheep and breed should be in the title.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Lord Comet.
Have Gun Will Travel, member for 8 months. Chris, did you ever catch the guy that hit you?
Hit me?
Yeah, you talked it was at some event where someone sucker punched you?
Yes. I did not press charges. I know exactly who it is. I've never seen that person since. They're banned from that event. God, that happened in 2018. That was not a good year for me.
I remember
2018 or 20. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I remember around that time that my good friend John Schnepp passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like, my thoughts about myself were kind of not present. There were more pressing issues, but I know who it is and I don't care. I think they're a coward.
Oh, I remember the kerfuffle we got into after watching Dune at Warner Brothers, and you took your mask off in the parking structure.
Yes, that person. I really don't care. I just, I don't care.
I know, but it's just the derangement people have for stupid things.
Yeah, I do my thing. If you want to be upset about it, you are making that choice. I have better things to do.
Look, wear your mask. If it makes you feel safe, wear your mask. Ethereal, Sheepy Holmes.
Yes.
Sam Spurgeon, where there's a wool, there's a way.
Yeah, oddly, there weren't a lot of that kind of humor in the movie.
Well, I mean, the chicken crossing the road.
That was a great joke.
I was waiting for someone to say, why did that chicken cross the road?
Yeah.
Bill S. Preston Esquire, Murder Sheep Wrote.
Oh, that's good. Yes, Murder Sheep Rope. It's on the thumbnail, Lori.
Murder Sheep. Sam Spurgeon, you are under arrest.
God, these are great.
Yeah.
God, I love our chat. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Hey, let's talk about another movie you and I both saw, Alan.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 2.
Mortal Kombat.
Now, I have to say, I am a fan of Mortal Kombat. I played the game in the 90s. I loved it. There were two games, Street Fighter, which was fun, cartoony and goofy, and Mortal Kombat, the series, also fun, but gory.
Yeah. Blood
and
dismemberments.
Yeah. I mean, look, more realistic too, because the characters in Mortal Kombat were real actors.
Yeah.
They photographed them on VHS tape, and then they cut out the figures. There's a whole documentary about Williams Midway and how they made the original Mortal Kombat movies. Ed Boon, by the way, Ed Boon is a quick cameo in this film. One of the creators of Mortal Kombat. So Mortal Kombat, very different from Street Fighter. I really like both games in the 90s. Street Fighter, more goofy, cartoony. Mortal Kombat, more realistic and gory. Mortal Kombat movies have had a storied history. I like the original in the 90s, was kind of fun, almost had like a kind of like Star Wars trio like feel to it. The recent Mortal Kombat movie, which is why this is Mortal Kombat 2, I thought was terrible. It came out during the pandemic, I believe in 2021, and it came out on Max, HBO Max, at the same time as theaters, and I thought it was not great. Had some really good casting, but was not awesome. This movie more centers on Johnny Cage's character. I mean, I could go in. What I'm saying is, I am predisposed to like this because I love the game, but the movies have been a mixed bag. Alan, tell me your thoughts, and then I'll jump in with mine.
Okay. So I like watching the game. I like watching the game being played. I'm not very good at it. I'm not good at fighter games, but I mean, I've told the story before. The first time I ever saw Mortal Kombat in the arcade, I stood there for 2 hours just watching the game being played. Because it was just things I hadn't seen before. That being said, I think one of the problems with video game movies, especially like this, is that there's no lore really that you attach yourself to. And so someone's got to make it up. And I think that's my problem with this movie is this lore is really stupid. I do not like I don't care about the lore of this movie. There's a tournament. Kahn wants to take over all the realms. You know, you got five losses, and then we run the place. It just seemed like the lore is there for plot convenience, just because you need something to justify the things you're doing. And that's kind of the way I felt about it. Having said that, I think this movie is more about the action sequences than it is about the lore. And to that I say, look, the Liu Kang, all the Liu Kang fights I loved. And everything else was like, okay, I've seen this before. And I just don't feel like this movie moves the needle in any way that makes me want to say, I need to see a Mortal Kombat 3, which clearly they set up in this one.
Yeah.
And so I'm bored and couldn't wait for it to be over. And I wasn't that excited about the fight sequences except for Liu Kang. And quite frankly, I've seen sequences like all of this before. So it really didn't elevate or evolve the process to me at all. So I do not recommend Mortal Kombat 2.
All right,
Your thoughts?
I am going to recommend it, but I'm going to acknowledge a couple things. One, it's super thin on story.
Mm-hmm.
There's barely a story. They set up the realms. They're fighting. We've got Earth realm, other realm, and we've got it's like a video game. They've got like the 5 lights up here and keeping track of the wins and losses, and it's to the death, and characters do meet their end to the credit.
The male characters meet their end to the
don't ruin it. Characters meet their end,
like you couldn't predict that.
Lots of characters, but I'll say yes, thin on story, but I wasn't bored. It's nonstop fight after fight after fight, excuse for a fight. It does take a little while to get going, but doesn't overstay its welcome. The Johnny Cage stuff, I love Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. is so good. This kind of washed up actor, and they show him at like a Comic-Con in San Diego, and there's some announcer. Make sure your social media influencers and YouTubers are signing their and cosplayers are signing their at their booths. And like Johnny Cage is sitting there, and no one is at his booth, and he's selling like old VHS tapes and autographs. That stuff was hilarious, very self-deprecating. He has his comeuppance. Other characters like Jax, I really like. And Liu Kang, you're right. Liu Kang is a standout. So in the end, I'm like, this is really flawed. It's dumb. There's barely any story, but it's nonstop action beginning to end. I did like the bartender, Ed. Real fans will notice that at the bar. And I don't know. I had a good time with it. The audience, I will say this, it was helped quite a bit by the audience that I saw it with. The audience was into it. Packed audience at IMAX, and they loved it. I mean, they were all over it. So I'm going to give it a recommend, not a strong recommend. Look, if you forced me to give a number rating, it's a 6 out of 10 to me. But that's still a bare recommend. You're not recommending it.
No. Look, there are a couple things. One is they sure could have used a romance in it. That would have been really nice.
Right.
The other thing, I got to tell you the story. So the movie's over. I'm heading over to the restroom, and I'm doing my thing. And father walks in with his 2 kids. They must have been 6 and 7. And the father asks, "Who is your favorite character?" And the kid goes, "Johnny fucking Cage." and then the other one, I think he's 5. He tells his dad, "Dad, this is the best day of my life."
See, for that alone,
the father said, "But you said that last week." No, this one tops last week.
Look, there is swearing. I would not have taken a 6-year-old or 7-year-old to see it, but I'll say, and it is very gory. It does live up to the fatality.
I've seen worse, but yes, I've seen worse.
Seen worse, but for a movie like this, it lives up to it. So
I mean, just that 6-year-old Johnny fucking Cage.
It's a bare recommend, but a good one. There is no post-credit scene. I stayed till the very end, but there is a good button at the end of the movie. So stick around. So,
there's gonna be a third one.
Hey, one recommend, one not recommend. Make of that what you will. Let's go to comments, and then we're gonna go to our special guest today.
By the way, yes, I want romance in it. It could have used romance, and not between Katana and Jade. Let's just put it that way. The Skeleton King for 5. I really enjoyed Mortal Kombat 2. The story wasn't great, but it was just a whole lot of fun. I enjoyed Johnny fucking Cage.
That's the thing. It was fun. Thank you.
I need more than that. Sorry. Carnal for 5. I am the only one who thinks Glenn Powell would have made a better Johnny Cage. Yes,
he would have been great.
Yes.
Thank you, Carnell. Oh God.
Except he's hardly in the washed up category or old and washed up.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean Johnny Cage, the character, as in this movie. Yeah, but let's keep going.
You're right. Razor Burns. So in other words, turn off your brain, eat some popcorn, and have fun.
That's what you should do. And you will. Thanks, Razor Burns.
I feel like I feel like Street Fighters is gonna be the more intellectual film than this one.
Yeah, the funny thing is they showed the trailer and people went nuts for the trailer with this crowd.
Creeping East. Action is epic, but storytelling and narrative is a bit weak. Feels like made for TikTok attention span generation.
Yeah, it makes sense. It was all fights.
Yeah. Lord Khan for 2. I like how CG glorifies Mortal Kombat.
MK.
Is that Chris Gore or computer generation?
Could be either.
Michael Moore on Critic List. It had a rad at 73 with 22 votes. I'll bring that.
Right.
I'll bring that in. Ron Charman. I watched Mortal Kombat 1 at the cinema yesterday and 2 today. The second movie is way better. Yeah, they actually showed
way better.
My theater had a screening of the first one before the second one.
Oh, really?
I didn't go to it, but it was available to us. Yes.
Hey, folks, we like to tell you about new movies in release. And we have the director, the filmmaker behind Sleeping Dog. Michael Lazovsky is here. Hopefully I pronounced his name correct. Lazovsky. He will correct me when he comes on here. Let's talk to him about his new documentary that I believe is it's out today. Hey, Michael. Thanks for joining us on the show today.
Did you get the name right?
Did I?
Lazovsky.
Lazovsky.
You're very close. Nobody gets it right the first time. So thank you.
I will not forget it, Lazovsky.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today. This movie, I kind of fear for your life with this movie. Tell people about the film Sleeping Dog, and then I want to show them the trailer to give them a taste of it. But tell us about the film.
Yeah, so Sleeping Dog is about journalist Jeremy Corbell and by extension George Knapp, but really centered on Jeremy Corbell. A lot of people don't know he's kind of the leading force behind a lot of the stuff that's happening with UFOs and UAP. Today's actually a really big day right now with what's going on in the news with some of the files being released. But Jeremy Corbell has been the person that has released a majority of military film footage and has brought whistleblowers to Congress and has actually briefed Congress and provided 46 file names that Congress is trying to now release to the American public. Now, I came on as a producer of their podcast Weaponized, and I realized that a lot of the stuff that was said off camera was way more interesting. So I started filming his life, and I noticed that the reporting is really only the tip of the iceberg. And I really wanted to get into what was actually going on his day-to-day life and how hard it is and scary it is to release this stuff.
Chris, you there?
So how'd you get so much access?
Yeah, it was months and even years of building trust with Jeremy. And again, I started off as a producer on their podcast where we have whistleblowers come on all the time. They release military film footage. So it was really the trust that had built up over a large period of time that and then at a certain point, I think Jeremy realized that this had to be documented for his own safety. And this film is kind of acting as a layer of protection for Jeremy.
Well, we got it with the movie Disclosure Day. We're on, that's coming out in weeks now. That when that movie comes out, is that a precursor to Disclosure? And then also, I want to know that, but then also, why is there so much danger in revealing this info? Do they want to control how this information is released?
Yeah. So as far as Disclosure Day goes, I do know that they did do a lot of consulting with people that really understand this subject.
Yes, Spielberg actually talked about that.
Yeah, totally. I don't know if I don't know how much I can say, but there was involvement with some of the people in the movie in Sleeping Dog when it comes to Disclosure Day. Now, I think that Spielberg in some of the featurettes, he has said that it is closer to reality than fiction. So, it's pretty fascinating. And I think I'm really excited to watch the film. I have not seen it yet. Now, and the second part of your question was, sorry?
Why is there so much threat for people that are wanting to get the truth out about UAPs, about aliens, about all this phenomena that I've heard about since I was a kid in the 70s and watched In Search Of with Leonard Nimoy, or I read the book and saw the movie Chariots of the Gods. Like, this has been a thing since I've been alive. Okay.
Yeah.
And why is it not simply disclosed? Why is there danger around simply revealing this information?
Yeah, look, it's a decades-long secret. I don't know, I can't speak for the perspective of the people that are trying to keep it secret. I've heard a lot of theories, but what I do know is that Jeremy is engaged by intel agencies every single day, like for hours and hours. And these are people on a payroll, taxpayer funded, right? Like these are intel people on a payroll that are engaging with him and trying to sway his reporting or convince him of the craziest things. Wow. So that was shocking to me. Why are these people? I mean, there are wars going on. There's so much happening. There's not enough intel agents actually to follow terrorists right now in America. Yet there are so many that are on Jeremy and George. So that brings a lot of questions, right? If everything he's releasing is just a balloon and all these whistleblowers are absolutely crazy, why is there so much interest?
Well, let's watch your trailer, and then we have over 1,000 people watching live. They have questions for you.
Sure.
And let's take a look at this trailer right now for your film. Here we go. Let me turn up the audio there. Let's go. Here we go.
Your journalistic credentials mean jack shit. If you look in the 70s and 80s with the CIA, they used to have reporters on their payroll. They don't respect anybody.
Corbell is an investigative journalist who helped obtain and release the DoD footage of UFOs.
I've been holding a secret for about 11 years, and it's going to be extremely public. It's not a video of an alien. It's not a video of one crowd. It's more than that.
Years ago, I went searching for the truth about UFOs. And I found it.
He was the most curious kid ever.
First person that I pointed a camera at was John Lear.
John Lear, son of the famed aviation pioneer, a world-class pilot.
The government has between 30 and 50 alien bodies.
Cold called his phone, and she picked up. I want to bring, a camera, and then how open he was with me.
This was not part of my game plan at all.
Flying saucers, flying discs of extraterrestrial origin.
The evidence is very strong. They've been here and are here.
It's an Alice in Wonderland planet. Very few people will ever find the truth, but everybody is looking for the truth, and a lot of people think that they found the truth, but that's impossible.
I'm like the least qualified person on planet Earth. One thing I am is I am worthy of your trust.
If you really have stuff that is that sensitive that you cannot release, you're relying on your connection as a journalist. They're not going to come after you, not only you, they're going to come after your family. If I die, this story comes out.
It would represent one of the largest leaks in American history.
I don't know what to do, man. Is it worth it?
Oh, man.
To who?
So it's out now for people to see.
It's streaming on the 12th, actually. So there's a very limited theatrical release, but then yes, it's actually you can get it or actually see it on the 12th. Worldwide.
Well, okay, you've been around. We got to go to questions from our audience.
Sure.
They're chomping at the bit, but I want to ask, what are your theories? Because I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw a little Bob Lazar reference in there.
Yeah, he's in the film. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, are they aliens? Are they a civilization that went into hiding, that have technology and they've been kept? Like, what I'm saying is, even changing the name to UAP, that kind of bugs me. That's always bugged me.
I thought the aliens were on an asteroid flying by the Earth.
Yeah.
It's such a human thing for us to want to understand what it is, right? Like, we think Star Trek, Star Wars, and the truth is, I think it's so much weirder than that. I really think and that's why they call it a phenomenon now. It's physical, but then it's also not. And, I think there's two questions really, right? Is this stuff real? Like, is there a non-human intelligence interacting with us and has been for a long time? My perspective, yes. And I think that's provable. Now, the second question is, what is it, is a lot more complicated because it manifests in many, many forms and has for a very long time. And I really do think I've come to, it's not as simple as, an alien coming from another planet. I think it's probably living alongside us. Like, we have a very narrow field of reality, right? Limited color spectrum, sound spectrum, right? So there's a lot, I think, that we just don't see and in our day to day. Again, so I think it might be beyond our comprehension as humans.
On the other side, the question I have is, did Art Bell die of an accidental overdose? Or
I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I was really a newcomer to this subject. I didn't even know who John Lear was until we started working on the movie. So, but I do know of Art Bell, and yeah,
right. But to the I guess the conspiracy points, the idea that everyone feels like their lives are in danger. I feel like the Art Bell death is kind of like, oh wow, they actually got to somebody.
Yeah, I mean, Bob too, right? Was threatened, Bob Lazar. And more recently Jeremy, but I think it's, really, it's not even Jeremy himself. It's some of the whistleblowers, the people that are in government A lot of people have not come out. Their lives, they feel like their lives are very much at risk and have received threats.
We've got a lot of questions from our audience here.
Yeah.
Let's actually get to these questions. Let's go, Alan, if you would.
All right, Bush and Recat for 5.
Oh, wait, sorry, that's a different topic. Sorry. Let's
not
go
that
here.
dissimilar though. Ryan Landis, is the government secretive in part because they don't want other governments to know their level of knowledge?
Yeah, totally. So from what I have understood, and again, I was a fly in the wall with a lot of conversations, and a lot of it sucks, could not make the movie. I mean, we had lawyers and stuff had to go through like what's legal to actually even put in this film, right? But being a fly on the wall, from what I realized, there is some kind of a race to the technology to crack the code as to like what is propelling the craft, the nuts and bolts aspect of the phenomenon. And, our adversaries we don't want our adversaries knowing how far we have gone and vice versa.
I have to ask you, when is the cutoff of the film? Where is the point or the date in which you said we can't add any more new information into it?
Yeah, so I was focused on a story, right?
Okay.
And that's what, because it's so easy to get lost and sidetracked, right? And there's so many people involved in the UFO thing. So I was really focused on Jeremy's journey, and he had this dilemma. And when they decided, I don't want to give too much away, but they make a decision towards the end of the film that they're going to do something. And that's sort of when I've realized, okay, like they've made that decision. Now, everything that happens from then on, and we show as much as we can in the movie, we really try to go, I pushed as hard as we could to show things that the public has never seen that are in the film, and everything that they will release, that they release in the film and after, I think will feed back to that moment in the third act of the film, of the movie.
Okay.
I mean, there's so much we don't know about our own planet, like past civilizations, past advanced civilizations that existed and fell. We still don't know what the pyramids were for. There's speculation there were power plants, that it was that Egypt was lush and green, and it made electricity. Like there's so much we don't know about our own world. I'm not sure about aliens from another world. I've changed my view.
Yeah, it's not that.
There's some phenomenon here that we're not privy to.
Aliens from another world would be too simple. And also, if an alien told you they're from another world, can you trust it? That's another thing, right? So it's like maybe they lie too, or maybe they're trying to make you believe something. So it's just so complicated. No one knows the answer.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of science fiction tries to prep people for certain ideas. And a lot of it I would call even speculative fiction, not science fiction, because there's an episode of The Outer Limits where scientists get together to try to end war on Earth by having an alien. They convert a guy's DNA and turn him into an alien. I don't know if you've seen that episode.
I have not seen that episode.
It inspired actually.
There's so much stuff out there.
It inspired the comic book Watchmen. I forget the name of the episode, but you should watch that. Anyway, questions here.
All right. Have you heard of the CIA memo regarding aliens turning Soviet soldiers into stone?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I know George Knapp. I don't know if that's part of his, because George Knapp actually, he went to Russia in the 90s and snuck a lot of the classified UFO documents out. I don't know if this was part of that. I have heard or seen something like that. It's hard to know, when that came out, like how much of it was part of the Cold War and misinformation. A lot of these things too, it's like, what is misinformation intentionally being given to the public to flood the zone and confuse it? Because there's a lot of BS when it comes to UFO stuff and aliens that are out there, and you Google and you find a lot of crazy stuff out there. So I know part of the misinformation tactic that has been used is to really flood the zone and confuse people so that we don't actually get to the truth.
And what is coming out? You said something is happening today. What is happening?
I mean, in the news, so the White House, I think, and again, I know everyone is, it's controversial, right? Because Trump has a lot, but they started releasing some of the UFO files, UAP files. Now, it's just a drop in the bucket. I think it's just a start. I don't think any of the videos that I've seen that have come out are significant. They're mostly dots in the sky, right? Which is why I think Sleeping Dog is important. It's like it tells like a fuller story to all of this. But yeah, they've started that process of releasing UAP files.
And when Disclosure Day comes out, will you be there day one?
I mean, most likely, yeah. I mean, I'll watch it. I'm really curious. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. I mean, Spielberg talked about when he made Close Encounters that there was not a lot of information, at least from a public standpoint. But how Disclosure Day is a much more informed story.
But yeah, there are people in the UFO field though that are like ex-government or in government that have said that is the closest narrative film to what they have they know to be true, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. And because we have an international audience.
Yes. Oh, interesting topic. Is this film available in the EU?
Yeah, it will be available in the EU worldwide.
Oh, so it's on May 12th is the VOD date. Thank you, Jimmy.
Correct. Yes, correct.
Okay, but it is in theaters right now.
Select, very select, yes, theatrical release.
Any in LA or Southern California?
You know what? There's an Ojai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, they pushed it way out there.
There's a bigger screening that's going to be in Portland, in Oregon, and Austin, I believe.
And where can people go to get more info about your film?
So you can go to sleepingdogmovie.com, and you can pre-order it through. There's, I believe, a link over there. We're also on social media, and Jeremy Corbell, as a journalist, he's posting about it as well, keeping people updated with.
I'm going to the website right now, and I see here we are. Let me share it. So people, sleepingdogmovie.com. Yeah. It's out May 12th. And I think this is probably a good companion piece or a good prep for Disclosure Day coming out in June.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? The timing, and it's funny. It's like we just wanted the film out. We really did not plan for it to be this close to Disclosure Day. We wanted to get as much as we could out. And it's exciting.
Awesome. Michael, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Awesome. When you make your next documentary, please come back. And I have to recommend, there's a friend of mine does a show, Gary Beekler does a show called Forbidden Frontiers. It's on Sunday night. You should be on his show.
Okay. All right. I'll take note of that.
I'll connect you with your publicist. I'll give you a contact. That's his whole show talks about this phenomenon.
Cool.
I'm sure he'd love to have you.
Would love to do it. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Right. Have a great rest of your weekend. Later.
Well. Bye.
Bye. That was great. I love crazy. That.
Yeah.
Now we have one more thing to review before we wrap up today. A bonus review, as it were. That's right. Alan, he fired up his Netflix and he has seen, and Alan is really, of the two of us, the wrestling expert.
Mm-hmm. And this documentary falls right into my wheelhouse.
I give the belt to you, Alan. You are the wrestling expert here at Film Threat. There's a new series called Hulk Hogan, Real American. It's on Netflix. Tell me, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. So I'll just say Hulk Hogan was the guy who brought me into wrestling. I can vividly remember Roddy Piper slapping the hell out of Cyndi Lauper. And then Hulk Hogan coming in and thinking to myself, man, wrestling is real. And from then just started watching, and Hulk Hogan was like, oh my gosh, how long? I mean, the stories would take place over months leading up to the big battle at WrestleMania. And then you see him Hulk up and win. So there's a series. I've only seen the first 2 episodes. The first one is basically Hulk Hogan's life up into through the indies and up until before coming to WWF at that time. And then the second episode is about the birth of Hulkamania. And I'll say this. I do appreciate the information I'm getting. A lot of it is interviews with Hulk himself, with some other people. What's surprising to me is maybe they appear later on, but the second episode, I don't think has either of his children in it. The first 2 episodes has a lot of Linda Hogan in it. And, and I guess she's not, so far at this point, she's fairly honest about the story, just how they met. She just lays out the facts. And then they show footage of Hulk Hogan talking about how they met as well. They treat it like a love story. And I mention that because we know how the Linda Hogan, Hulk Hogan marriage turned out. So so far so good. I'm enjoying it. A lot of good information, and I guess good documentaries are the ones that hit on things that you were so nostalgic for, and wrestling was definitely that thing. And Hulk Hogan, I mean, I know he's controversial. I know the things he's done later in his career, but man, I loved Hulk Hogan growing up, and this is a good one to watch to show you not only why wrestling became as big as it is, but the guy who propelled it, and that is Hulk Hogan, hands down.
Well, look, I don't follow wrestling as closely as you. I don't have those fond memories. I was always a movie guy, but I knew Hulk Hogan from Rocky III, and his imposing figure. When you see him, obviously they're having fun. Rocky.
Yeah, he got fired from the first WWE when Vince Sr. was running it, because he wanted to take time off to make the Rocky movie, and was made the choice: you either go to this booking we've done for you, or you can do this Rocky movie, and we'll fire you. And he wound up doing the Rocky movie, and not realizing how that Rocky movie would ultimately benefit wrestling.
I mean, it really did, not just wrestling. Him as a brand, he crossed over into other media, like the fact that everyone knows who Hulk Hogan is, even if you're not a wrestling fan. So I hope it goes into those aspects. It's in my queue for Netflix. I'll get to it for sure.
By the way, Trump does an interview.
He's in the movie.
Yeah, like he goes,
in the series?
He basically says, "Well, you caught me at a good time. I'm working on something with Russia." And so,
so do you recommend it?
I recommend. Look, first 2 episodes definitely. Honestly, the crux of this documentary will be in the later episodes, when basically, we'll see how controversial it gets as I go down the road. But look, early on in his career, he was the hero. He was the American icon, the real American, and the first 2 episodes really plays into that.
Let's go to your comments here.
I'm looking at, Brock Samsonite. I wonder if they'll cover how he was a traitor to the rest of wrestlers by informing McMahon about their attempts to unionize. Yeah, I wonder. Jesse the Body's in it. I know he was a big, I think that was their falling out when he did that. Tony Elias, let Hulkamania run wild, brother.
Thank you.
Pushing Real Cat for 5. Here we go. For chat. Left Mortal Kombat 2 gets an 8 out of 10. The fight sets are perfect, not really woke. Jade stays bald, but sure to grab either tins, $40, or only problematic music, generic.
Yeah, the music was really generic.
Yeah, Regal has a really nice popcorn bucket.
I don't know if you sent in the same chat twice, Bush and Ryu Cat, but it showed up twice. So,
but we appreciate it.
Yeah. And someone clarified, Atomic Gloria clarified for me, it's the car accident I got into in December of last year. They never caught the guy.
Oh,
they found the address, and he doesn't have insurance. Are you surprised?
Surprise.
Every time I've been involved in any accident in California, you know what? It's someone who doesn't speak English and has no insurance.
That's 80% of the accidents.
Every time. So there you go.
Yes, and the 1-8 train for 20 because Chris said to send super chats. Is it that easy?
It's that easy. You got to ask for them. That's great.
Well, to that, I say thank you for supporting the channel.
Thank you for the support of the channel. And also go to shop.filmthreat.com. We have new shirts in there. I want to remind people, please subscribe if you're not and you're watching this. Subscribe. We've got these new video game inspired shirts, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat 2, and Super Mario.
Oh,
modeled by, who is this intern?
That was Tim.
Tim, the intern, is modeling that shirt. Look at that.
Yeah, good old Tim.
Tim's all smiles wearing that shirt. So go to shop.filmthreat.com. We like to say that Film Threat t-shirts cure nudity on contact. Yes, they do. And thanks to our mods, Lord Thoth, MK Solid, ADLS24, and Ololique on Rumble. And thanks to Atomic Lori, keeping us. She makes us look smart when I feel sometimes kind of not all there. I've had enough coffee today, Alan. I need more coffee.
Oh, by the way, she did get the CinemaCon package finally.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's a
yeah.
lot of candy. Don't eat it all at once. Don't eat it all at once.
And treasure that issue of Runway magazine.
That's right. Hey, we're back on Monday with Versus. We'll talk Mortal Kombat 2 and the box office, and we have a lot more stories. We'll be everyone have a great weekend. Go see the movies. And Alan,
Let's get out of here.